Alrighty, SY Sports back with another college football video. Now we are on to the Pac-12, starting off with the talent ratings. We'll be going from the most talented team in the Pac-12 to the least talented team in the Pac-12. Very interested in seeing where USC is? Well, stick around. So like I originally said, this is mostly based off a 24/7 sports composite. I take into consideration transfers in and out of schools, medically retiring and basically just quitting and all that. So basically who's on the roster coming into fall camp. I don't have fall camp rosters completely updated because fall camp's going on right now, so it's kind of hard to see who's still in and who's still out. But if there is a change, I'll put it into it, but this is what the rosters I have as of August 1st. I think these are all updated August 1st. Anyways, let's begin. Coming in at number 1 is the most talented team in the Pac-12. I have Oregon with a rating of 290. Mario Cristobal just loaded up that roster out in the Pac-12. Now, he didn't coach to where he didn't go to expectations as the talent on the team, but he went to the expectations of basically running through the Pac-12. I mean, he had some bad losses, but he still was in Pac-12 championships. I believe he won one in the, 4 years he was there. But anyways, he's left Dan Lanning. Is that the new coach? Dan Lanning? Left him with a bunch of talent out at Oregon. Coming in at number 2, we have USC and a tie with Stanford at 269. Now, USC hasn't been doing great in the recruiting class the last few years, but obviously with the whole Lincoln Riley stuff going on, and he brought in a bunch of transfers, and that's what really driven their numbers up. Outside of the transfers that they brought in, the team really doesn't have a whole lot behind it, so I'd be interested to see what they do this year. Stanford just has everybody coming back. They were a bad team, but I don't think anybody left, so they're pretty stacked veteran-wise. Coming in at number 3. Oh, wait, we got to get rid of the 12th spot. Hold on. Coming in at number 3 is Cal, UCLA, Washington. And that's it. Okay, Cal, UCLA, Washington, all tied for third place at 247. Now, this is very interesting because I thought Cal would have been lower, and I thought Washington would have been higher. I feel like UCLA is kind of where they're at because Chip Kelly really hasn't been recruiting that well at UCLA. He's starting to pick it up more, but it took him a while to get going there. Cal, low 3-star players, consistently going to 6-6, 7-5 bowl games. Washington, even though they were down last year, I believe they had just bad coaching, and I believe that was a bowl team. They just had bad coaching, and there's more talent on the team than what they produced, and this clearly shows. I'm not saying 247 is a good number, but it's tied for third in the Pac-12. Coming in at number 4 is Utah. This is another shocking one because I thought Utah would be higher too with how well they've been playing, but no, it's just good coaching. That's what good coaching can do, and now they're a playoff favorite to win, basically run through the Pac-12. They're favored at Florida week 1, so a lot of high praise for how much talent is actually really there. Number 5, Colorado at 234. I thought this would be lower because they lost a lot to the transfer portal, and their roster's basically been depleted, and there's really nothing. From what I'm hearing reports is that the program just seems dead. There's a lot of bad things happening there, but I could be wrong. But for being everybody that's still on the roster, there's a bunch of 3-star players, and that'll add up. So a lot of these teams have more quantity over quality, and it really shows, and I guess it helps with depth purposes. Going in at number 6, it's Arizona at 228. Now, you think they'd be last, but Jeff Fisher, I believe. Jeff Fisher, or Jed Fisher. Is it Jed? Anyways, we'll say Fisher, if it is Fisher. I'm drawing a blank on Arizona's coach right now. You'd think they'd be last, but they actually have had a good recruiting class, and they've hit the transfer portal pretty well. So it's good to see them improving, and to me, as of right now, this seems like it's going to be a better season. Coming in at number 7, Washington State. Another little drop off at 214. I mean, this seems right. Washington State's never really recruited well. They've just had good coaching, I believe. Or they've had that 3-star player that's broke out into a 5-star player. But, Washington State's usually towards the bottom of the Pac-12. They just had a few good years under Mike Leach, and then they had the good season in '97, which was now 25 years ago. So didn't expect much. I didn't expect them to be that high in the rankings, and they clearly aren't. 214 in 7th place in the Pac-12. Coming in at number 8, Oregon State at 210. I believe they've bumped up from last year because they do have a lot coming back, but they also did lose some good quality players. So with a good coach, I think they can play higher than what this talent rating says, but we'll see. It's Oregon State. They'll win 2 games or they can win 10 games. I mean, I'm not saying they do that all the time, but they have had great seasons in the past, so maybe this could be one of them with much veteran players on this team. Now, coming in at 9th, dead last, is Arizona State at a solid 194. Now, I'm going to spoil this because I believe people should know that the SEC is probably going to be a lot higher from top to bottom. This is the least talented team in the entire country, Power 5-wise. 10 points lower than Kansas. They just lost everything after all the violations and stuff that went on during COVID. They've just lost everybody. Which sucks because I really liked Herm Edwards, and I believe he was going to do something great at Arizona State. But sometimes when you do something great, you get caught doing something you're not supposed to be doing, and that's what happens. Now, they did get a transfer quarterback in Amari Jones. I mean, they did get some transfers in, but I wouldn't be shocked if they went 0-12. But I don't want to spoil it, but we'll have to see what their schedule rating says. So maybe they can win a few games here and there. A thing with the Pac-12 is, if you notice, that the talent ratings are very low. And there's a reason why they're being left out of the playoffs, I believe. And I think these talent ratings have a good showing of there's nothing there. You have Oregon, who is way better talent-wise than everybody else, but they always seem to lose somewhere, a couple times somewhere. And it doesn't help them. Oregon is their best bet to get into the playoff every year for the past 5 years. I mean, you can go back to even the Chip Kelly days if there was a playoff then. USC is on the rise, but I don't think they're quite there yet. This talent rating shows that they're still far off. Yes, they brought in a lot of talent. I understand that, but that's all they have. They're a good 7-on-7 team as of I'm looking at the roster, but they don't really have any well-developed defensive players or even an offensive line. So that's why their talent rating isn't as high as what you would think after all that's happened this offseason. And Utah is going to play higher than 243. I just think that they just have the best coach in the Pac-12 now. So without further ado, that's my Pac-12 talent ratings list coming in the 2022 season. I hope you enjoy. Please comment down below. Let me know what you think. If I'm an idiot, if you think this list is good, I'd like to hear thoughts, opinions, all that good stuff. So yeah, please comment down below, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.